In this demo of the PestManager app, we're going to take you through the identification process of diseases, insects, and weeds, and then show you how to create a profile. So in the PestManager app, we can filter by 3 different pests. We can do it by crop. We can do it by location of the pest on the plant to narrow the field down to find a pest that best matches what you're seeing in the field. Here's an example of looking through and keying out a potential disease, in this case white mold. You'll notice a number of photos depicting the disease. As you scroll through, you can see various images of the pest. You can also hit the information tab, which will give you more information on the pest, including PDF documents for best management practices and integrated pest management strategies. And so all that is included in the information tab. It will show you a description of the pest, its life cycle, in the case of diseases, its action threshold, and key IPM strategies. So within every pest, there is not only photos, but information on the pest. We can add it to our profile. The reason we want to create a profile is there's over 100 different pests in this app. You may only encounter 10 or 12. And so it's very inefficient to keep looking through 100, 150 different pests when you can really just focus in on the ones that you see and manage on a regular basis. So for example, if we go into the insect portion of the app and narrow down to soybeans, we can see the insect pests that only affect soybeans. In this case, we're looking at bean leaf beetle. We can add that to our profile because maybe it's a pest that we manage on a regular basis. And another kind of endemic pest in Ontario is soybean aphid. Often that's managed on a yearly basis. So again, you could add that to your profile so that you're more efficient. And again, in the information tab for insects, we not only have pictures of beneficial insects, so those insects that feed on the aphids and naturally reduce populations, but there's also information on life cycle, action thresholds, integrated pest management strategies. And so that's all the information exists for diseases and insects in the information tab. And then lastly, of course, weeds. We have what are called kind of dynamic keys. So you can pick a broadleaf weed, and of course you could scroll through and look at a bunch of pictures, but you could also narrow down the search criteria based on taxonomy features, right? So in this case, maybe you know the size of the cotyledon, in this case linear. You know it's a linear cotyledon, so you can narrow down the search field to only those species with linear cotyledons and again add to the profile. You can of course do it by leaf shape, you could do it by leaf arrangement, whether the plant has sap or not. So there's a key in the weed section to kind of narrow down your search options. You could even look at narrow down the field on the basis of flower color. So again, you could add those pests that are relevant to you in the profile, and we'll demo now how that makes things more efficient, especially when it comes to the mapping side of the app, which is what we'll go to next. So again, here with tufted vetch, we see a number of photos, and perhaps now we want to map this because we see a patch in the field, and we want to actually map. So I can just hit the map button. It puts this in the map. You can see there that we can add some comments. So maybe I want to make a note about that I'm just starting to see the population emerging out of the ground. So you can add those comments there. And then you can save it to the location and then zoom in on that location. And you see there's the name of the pest. All weeds have a green pin drop, and each specific pest has a code. So in this case, vetch has BZ. We can also then create a field boundary so that we can go back to that area year after year. And so in this case, I can just name it. And once I name fields, I can always go back to those individual fields in the map. So now maybe if I'm in this area, I might want to add other pests. And we'll go through that in the next demo.